Hello, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel and like my videos, and please check my channel for other updates about Zeeworld. So the last update about Twist of Fate, Rhea got jealous seeing Ranbir and Prachi romancing in the rain, and Rhea spoiled their happy moment, and Aliyah promised Rhea that Ranbir will soon belong to her. Let's continue. Aliyah tells Rhea that in few days, Prachi would ask her to go and live her life with her husband. Rhea happily asks her to stop it and says if anyone hears me laughing, then she sees Prachi packing her bags and tells Aliyah that she will call her back. Aliyah thinks that what happened suddenly. Rhea thinks if Prachi is coming along with us to Bangalore and thinks that she trusts me and even Ranbir, if she comes along with us, then my plan will be ruined. She thinks to ask her and asks her. Prachi asks her to talk in low tone and says even I am coming with you both to Bangalore and the tickets are booked. Rhea says you cannot come. You will take care of Grandma and home. Prachi says she also said this, but Grandma asks her to go and surprise Ranbir. She says Ranbir cannot stay without me, and that is why Grandma asked me to go with him. Grandma comes there and asks Prachi why did she tell Rhea. Prachi says that she just told her. Rhea says Mommy would have problem. Grandma thinks that you are having problem and says that Pallavi will be happy when she will tell her that she sent Prachi for Ranbir's happiness. Rhea says but Grandma says they are husband and wife, so what is wrong if they go for outing? Grandma says once they drop you to Siddharth Hotel, they will leave. She asks Prachi to drop Rhea first. Prachi says okay. Ranbir comes there and greets the ladies. Grandma says Rhea has taken surprise for Sid and wants to show me. She goes with Rhea. Ranbir says that the surprise are good and my destiny is not good that someone surprised me. Prachi says you might get surprised in life. He says his life will start after he returns and doesn't like Bangalore. He says you did not pack my favorite shirt. Prachi says I will pack your shirt. Ranbir asks what are you hiding? She asks him not to keep her busy and asks her to go. Mitali makes food for everyone. She thinks it is good that she made it for everyone and thinks that the tea is ready, and she thinks to make sandwich and salad. She asks where is salad, and Chal and Shagun tells her that it is kept there. Mitali asks her to give it to her. Shagun refuses and says that we cannot do anything. She says it is the order from Pragya. Sushma comes there and asks Mitali what she made for breakfast. Mitali says that she made poha. Sushma says that she doesn't eat it and tells her that she wants porridge in breakfast. Mitali says what is it? I don't know how to make it. I know only Dalia. Sushma says it is the same. It is called porridge in English. Mitali says she doesn't know about it. Shagun asks, shall I make porridge for you? Sushma says no and says that Pragya is her daughter and she doesn't want to go against her orders. She says even I don't want to disobey her. Pragya comes there and asks Sushma what is she doing here. Sushma says I came to tell her that I like porridge. Mitali says she doesn't know how to make it. Pragya asks her to make it and teach them as well. Sushma asks what is in lunch. Mitali says that they have made tasty lunch and says it was so tasty. Shagun says you had told me that it is very bad. Mitali says you misunderstood me. Pragya says we will decide who will make lunch and asks her to make breakfast fast. Grandma takes Rhea to her room. She says she can keep everyone in the dark and says that you fool Prachi and she will believe you, but nothing changed here. Rather than relationship, you are still the same old Rhea and you have not changed. Rhea asks what are you saying? Grandma asks her not to act in front of her. Rhea says I don't understand. Grandma says I shall ask in front of everyone why you want to spend time with Ranbir alone. Rhea is shocked and says why are you saying this? He is coming to drop me to Bangalore. Rhea asks why are you remembering the past? We are married now and whatever happened between us is finished. Grandma says you couldn't clarify well and your intentions are clearly visible. She says I can see clearly the way you look at Ranbir. Don't challenge my life's long experience. Rhea says there is nothing wrong in my heart. Grandma says I just have doubt and that is why I am sending Prachi with you. If my doubt increases, then I would have to talk to Siddharth and ask him to leave from here and stay in some other house with his wife. She asks, did you understand? And Grandma goes. Rhea sits in shock. Shaina comes there and says I have reached here. Rhea asks her and asks, how are you? Shaina asks, how are you? Rhea cries, keeping her head on her shoulder. Shaina asks her to say whatever happened. Rhea says I want Ranbir. Shaina says that is why you married him. Prachi tells Ranbir that she will not miss him. Ranbir says my one day couldn't go without you and asks her to do something. Prachi asks him to imagine that. Ranbir says you are hiding something from me and got nervous and says, "Was it about my shirt?" Prachi says, "You had only said that your life should have some surprises to keep excitement and love." Ranbir asks if this bag is the surprise for me and says that he will keep it with him always. He says that he wants her to come with him and talk and make Siddharth and Rhea understand to sort out their marital problems. Prachi says, "Me?" Ranbir says yes and says that the divorce happens in such cases. Prachi asks him to talk to Siddharth as he will feel that she is Rhea's sister and talking from her own point of view. He says if you make him understand, then he will think that you are neutral. Ranbir says you love your sister a lot. Prachi says yes and says that she loves her a lot. Pragya and Sushma ask Mitali to make lunch and comes out. Grandma comes there and tells them that she did good by making Mitali work to keep her away from Aliyah and Tanu. Pragya says that she will teach a lesson to Aliyah and Tanu too, and it is the lesson which they will remember for life. Abi wakes up and thinks that why is he not having headache, and he thinks that he couldn't drink full wine, and the small amount got down and he fought with the goons for Pragya. Sushma, Pragya and Grandma comes there. Pragya says that they were doing puja. Abi says you and Tonta. Sushma says we are looking for Mitali. Abi says I would ask her. She will tell me the truth. Pragya says Grandma told me that you like food made by Mitali. She says I told you that I will not eat. Abi says I like food made by Mitali. Pragya says you don't like poha. Abi says he likes poha and he goes out. Pragya says that she has done a reverse psychology so that Abi doesn't listen to Aliyah, Tanu and Mitali and they have breakfast. Grandma says you did right. Shaina asks Rhea if she is not married to Ranbir. Rhea says no, she is married to his brother Siddharth. Shaina feels sorry for Rhea and asks if Ranbir got married and with whom. Rhea says with Prachi. Shaina says sorry, I should have done something for you, but now I cannot do anything. Rhea says Ranbir doesn't have copyright issues and says I will get him back. Shaina says he is married to Prachi now. Rhea says I have made the plan and now Grandma is doubtful about me. She says she has to tell everything fast and says that she has warned me that she will reveal about my intentions to everyone. Rhea tells Shaina that Grandma warned her and said that if she doesn't stop her plans, then she will tell everyone about her. Shaina asks what she will do in doubt. Rhea says Ranbir and I are about to go to Bangalore and by that time, Siddharth would have left for Mumbai. She says that she would have spent time with Ranbir. Shaina asks if Siddharth is in Bangalore. Rhea says that Ranbir was taking me to Bangalore and I plan to act unwell so that he can spend time with me. Rhea says Grandma convinced Prachi at the end moment so that Ranbir and I don't stay together. Shaina asks if Prachi knows about your feelings. Rhea says no, she thinks that I am changed. Shaina says she can execute your plan. Grandma has convinced Prachi to go with you and says if her leg gets broken, then how will she go? She asks her to push her off the staircase. Rhea says it is a wonderful idea. Why didn't I get it before? Shaina says I have to come with this idea. She says I will go and meet Prachi. Till then, you go and spill oil near the stairs. I will come down with her and I will walk behind her. Prachi will fall down from the stairs and she cannot go with you and Ranbir. Rhea says Sonny will take you to Prachi's room. Shaina asks where is your father? Rhea says I will talk later. Abi eats poha and appreciates Mitali's cooking, saying that it is too good. I have decided that you'll make food for me, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Mitali says Anchal and Shagun make tasty food too. Abi says the magic which is in your hands are not in their hands and says we are in the chol or year, you will make food. Pragya says when your brother-in-law is insisting, how can I refuse? And says Taiji would help you in the kitchen as the cook is more. Taiji coughs. Pragya says Taiji doesn't like cooking and asks Mitali to cook alone. Mitali says that she likes to cook. Pragya asks Mitali to cook alone and asks Taiji to help Anchal and Shagun in sweeping and mopping the floor. Aliyah asks if you don't feel ashamed to make elders do work. Pragya says you also made elders fetch water and asks if you don't feel ashamed. She says it is not shame to work in our own house. Aliyah asks why don't you do it? Pragya says I work in the office and that is how this house is run. Sushma also works in the office and your brother works with me. She says only you people are free. Tanu says she is not the child Tanu anymore. Now she has money and respect. Pragya asks her to hire a servant if she has so much money. Mitali says Pragya is giving good suggestion. We shall keep the servant for us, who does our work. Pragya asks them to think that the servant to work in the big house. Sushma says Tanu has so much money. Why are you worrying? Grandma says the money gets spent and until it is with her, she would have lavish life. Pragya says Tanu will not spend money. Abby says I am done with breakfast. Tanu asks, don't you want to say anything? Abby says I am tired of listening to this and asks them to decide what to do. Pragya says if you have objection, then you can do their work. Abby says he is getting sleep and he goes. Ranbir comes to Prachi and says I will be alone and away from you after marriage. He says I want you and I will miss you. She gives the fowl and asks him to give it to Siddharth. He sees the fowl and says Siddharth has meeting in Mumbai and he shall be there today. He thinks that by the time Rhea reaches there, Siddharth will leave Bangalore. Sushma tells Pragya that she feels that Aliyah and Tanu can handle the house cleaning work. Tanu says this is a big house and people ask for more salary. She says until when will I give? I think we shall clean this house. It will be time pass and exercise for us. She says I am doing this with my wish and not as you said. Grandma says Tanu is so understanding. She asks where is broom and mop and asks Taiji to help her. Taiji says that she will help Mitali in the kitchen. Rhea and Shaina comes to the kitchen. Shaina asks Soni to take her to Prachi's room. Soni takes her with her. Rhea takes oil container and soak cotton in it. Ranbir tells Prachi that he needs to call Siddharth once, but he is not picking the call. Shaina comes there and calls Ranbir. Ranbir asks how is she? Ranbir asks Shaina. Shaina says that she is good. She asks what is going on. Ranbir says all is well. Prachi asks Shaina and asks how is she? Shaina apologizes for the past mistakes. Prachi says I never took your words on heart. Shaina says she met everyone and feeling good to see them together. Ranbir asks Prachi to talk with Shaina as he has some important work to do. He asks her to ask about the girls whose heart is broken due to her. Shaina asks shall I call them for reunion and says that they are married. She asks Prachi to come with her. Grandma tries to convince Pallavi to let Prachi go with Ranbir. She says the housework will go on without her too and says if you don't agree, then I will stop her. Pallavi says when you have told her, then it's okay. She says Prachi doesn't matter to her, even if she sends her away for many days. Rhea comes near the stairs and squeezes the curtain, making the oil fall down on the stairs. Pallavi calls Rhea and asks, why didn't you tell me when your friend came here? Rhea says you are talking about Shaina. Pallavi says that she met me and went upstairs. She says I don't like it when someone comes here. I couldn't welcome her well. Rhea says Shaina is my best friend and not judge us. Pallavi says that she is a guest for us. Rhea thinks that this idea will be my favorite after Prachi falls down and breaks her leg. Prachi comes down and looks at the oil on the floor. Shaina waits for her to fall. Prachi stops Shaina and says that there is oil on the floor. Soni comes there. Pallavi asks how did the oil fall on the floor. Prachi says I will clean it and asks her to bring mop. Soni brings mop. Prachi cleans the floor. Rhea thinks that Prachi is saved, but she shall not come with Ranbir to Bangalore. I cannot see that. Tanu and Aliyah sweep the hall. Sushma says it is good that you made them work. Mitali says that this house is big. When we came here, we felt good, but now we have to clean the house. Taiji asks if you came here to do this. Mitali says we have become servants. Tanu says nobody becomes servant if they work in their own house, as it belongs to them too. She asks Aliyah to remember why they came. They came here to win from Pragya and not to fight with her, and she asks her to do something. Prachi comes to Ranbir and gives him tea. She says that oil was spilled on the floor and says if someone would have fallen, then she would have felt hot. She asks if the tea is good because she added lang, elichi, etc. Ranbir says it is good. Prachi tries to go. Ranbir is busy checking the file. She says that it is a plain tea and says that his concentration is not on her. She tells him that she is going with him to Bangalore. Ranbir asks, really? Thank you for watching my videos. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and please watch other videos on my channel as well. And please like this video. Thank you.